whether they are Sunni or Shia, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Afghanistan, whether it's around the world, has been targeting Americans.
My ultimate loyalty is not to any nation. It is to the creator of nations. It is to Rabbul Alameen.
We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it.
They want to show us morality. You want to teach me how to be refined? Excuse me. We are the ones that will remind them of the truth. We are the leaders of the...
Highly deluded people. They can't build a stealth fighter jet. They can't build submarines. They can't build heavy Navy ships. They can't build rockets. And they are the superior ones. All right, people. Harris Sultan again. Sorry about the shades. I still got conjunctivitis. So last week, Marco Rubio destroyed Islam. Have a listen.
Ultimately, all radical Islamic movements in the world identify the West writ large, but the United States in particular, as the greatest evil on the earth.
Anyone who wants to watch the full video, go check it out. I've made a separate video on that. And now Pete Hegseth has jumped in, and that is upsetting a lot of people. And they put Arabic subtitles as well, because Muslims have taken this clip out and they're trying to rage bait the Arabs into saying, hey, why are you guys allying yourself against Iran with these people? Whether you're Sunni or Shia, they see all of you as enemies, which is not actually what he said. He said Islamists, Sunnis and Shias. And we know why people make that distinction. Islamists are those who want to pursue the political goals of Islam. Obviously, the US does not view the Saudis and the Emiratis or even the Qataris, even though they have Islamist goals. But at least on paper, officially, the US does not recognize those countries as Islamists. The US recognizes Afghanistan, which is Sunni, as a bunch of jihadis and Islamists, and also the Islamic regime of Iran, which is a Shia Islamist regime. So that's what he's saying.
In Afghanistan, name the Islamist enemy, whether they are Sunni or Shia, because this is a Shia regime, Sunni or Shia, and Iran's been willing to harbor them as long as that group is willing to try to kill Americans. So the enemy of their enemy has been their friend as well in the Islamist world. So Iran, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Afghanistan, whether it's around the world, has been targeting Americans. And what they want...
And Australians too. Our federal police have foiled at least 2 failed terrorist attacks organized by the IRGC. I think the UK did about 4 or 5. And America, there's already been a couple of successful terrorist attacks sponsored by the IRGC. So that's who he's talking about. Whether you're a Sunni or a Shia Islamist, you are the enemy of the US.
In this context, and what President Trump would not tolerate, is a regime of that nature being closer and closer to nuclear capabilities.
Look, this is Gaza channel, okay? No wonder they put Arabic subtitles. Have a look at this. Daniel Hakikaju, the world's biggest pedophilia apologist. He's saying the guy with the kafir tattoo is saying it in the clearest terms possible that their aim is to destroy Islam. He didn't say that at all. But I'm okay with that. If that's what they want to believe in, if that's how they want to enrage the Islamists, go for it. Because I am honestly sick and tired of these Islamists being sneaky with our politicians. I want them to come out and declare war on every single Western country. So weak, cowardly, pathetic leaders like Keir Starmer and Anthony Albanese, they don't hide behind international law and say, hey, we're not a part of this US and Israeli war against the Islamists. If the Islamists come out and declare war on each and every one of our countries, then they wouldn't be able to hide. So even though what Daniel Hakikatu is saying is not honest, and I'm sure these subtitles are not honest as well, because it doesn't say Islamist. By the way, I'm not fluent, but I can read Arabic. So it says Afghanistani here, because Pete Hegseth made a distinction of Islamists. These people are not making that distinction. Now he said Islami. So they're saying Islami, not Islamist, Islami, meaning Islam. So they're portraying that Pete Hegseth said that whether you follow Sunni Islam or Shia Islam, you are our enemy. That's how they're portraying it as, which is disingenuous, but who cares? I don't care. I want them to enrage. So this is the crux of it. Any so-called Muslim who is neutral in this war is in fact on the side of the enemies of Islam, not Islamists, of Islam, and should be rightly judged a munafiq, meaning a hypocrite. In the Quran, the place for a munafiq in Jahannam, in hell, is even lower than you and me infidels. Munafiqs have reserved the lowest, the deepest part of hell because Allah doesn't like munafiqs, i.e. the hypocrites, meaning those who proclaim to be Muslims, but they don't act on Islamic principles. Now, this is good news, by the way. Why are more and more people in the Trump administration are now starting to call out Islam? I know Marco Rubio said radical Islam. Pete Hegseth just said Islamist, but we know what they mean, okay? We know what they mean. This curtain of civility is not going to last very long. We are headed towards an inflection point. Sooner or later, leaders in the West, whether they are lefty woke or not, people will have to make a decision. We'll have to make a call. If this culture is going to live amongst us, then it has to make certain compromises. You can't demand Sharia in the UK or in Australia or in America. You can't be telling us, you can't be antagonizing the natives by blocking our streets, by hijacking our landmarks and praying in public and shrieking Allahu Akbar. That's not going to be allowed. So we are going to see some measures being taken by our future leaders. And anyone who bends over backwards, like Anthony Albanese in Australia or Keir Starmer in the UK, they will be wiped out from the electoral process. Look at this. This is Yasir Qadhi. Look what he's saying.
My ultimate loyalty is not to any nation. It is to the creator of nations. It is to Rabbul Alameen.
Rabbul Alameen means the God of all worlds, i.e. Allah. I don't care about your law. I don't care about America. My loyalty is not with America. It is with God. And what does God demand from Muslims? Establish Sharia.
We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it. Because the greatest purpose for which jihad was legislated is to make the word of Allah the highest and the word of those who disbelieve the lowest, even if the disbelievers hate it. But we're not shy to say it, and we don't find that to be something that we should be shy to say.
I've said very bluntly, very clearly, that the ultimate loyalties of every Muslim must be unconditionally only to the Creator.
Unconditionally, guys. No ifs and buts, no taqiyya. These are somewhat decent Muslims because he could have done taqiyya. He could have said, no. No, they're telling you guys. And this is nothing. I've seen literally hundreds of these videos coming out of America. Look what's happening in America. This is an older video, but have a listen to this. And look at this useful idiot, white American woman with him.
The message for the people of Gaza is going to be more of the message that should be sent to the people here, in that they have achieved victory. We haven't done anywhere near enough. And the people here, I promise you, we do feel ashamed. We do feel like we're not doing enough. We do feel like change needs to come, because change must come. And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah, they will.
America must fall. He's living in America. And look at this useful idiot. Look at this white woman. What do they mean by American empire must fall? Hollywood, music, liberty, individual freedoms, feminism, freedom to express your sexuality. All of these things must fall, and their culture must survive. Their world order must survive, in which LGBTQ people are thrown off from the rooftops. Women are forced to wear bin bags. Adulterers are stoned to death. That's what must succeed. And this woman agrees. So freaking stupid.
Will fall, and my message to the people of Gaza and the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old, who are going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down, because they must come down.
They are fanatical people. They're not afraid to die. They don't value life, guys. They're all sleeper cells. By their own admission, they're telling you what they are. Anyway, look at this. This Imam in Virginia. His name is Imam Ismail Salim at William Salam Mosque in Norfolk. This is from December 1st, 2024.
The reason America is still in the throes of this and still supporting this, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what degree it is. It is because, however, of Christianity.
America is the way it is because of Christianity. It is easy for Muslims to break it down into religions because the Quran didn't know that 1400 years into the future there will be an entity called America. If it was written by God, the creator of the universe, he would have known. He should have mentioned America, but he didn't, because he did know, because Muhammad wrote that book. And of course, Muhammad didn't know that there's going to be a country called America. He didn't even know if there's a country called Britain. Islamic worldview is so small. So anyway, so he broke it down into these three main religions: Judaism, Christianity, and the Mushrikeens, the pagans. So he knew about the Hindus. They were pagans, and obviously there were a lot of pagans around Muhammad. There were pagans of Mecca. In fact, his tribe, Quraysh, was pagan. It wasn't Christian or Jewish. So that's why it's important for these people to break it down on religious grounds. That way they can mobilize Muslims better against America.
It is because of Judaism.
Ooh, Judaism too.
In Western nations, aside from America, America is the last stronghold for Christianity.
Oh, wow. Guys, are you hearing that? Because Europe is gone.
In Great Britain, people are becoming irreligious in droves, and ultimately, they're becoming Muslim.
No, they're not. See, they lie, always lie. Look at this. Almost 4 in 10 have no religion. So back in 2001, about 72% of Britain was Christian. Now look at this line. It's coming down. Now it's at 48%. But this line is not going up at the same rate. Look at that. This line is exactly the opposite of this. So Christians are becoming irreligious. And this, from 2001, from 1% has gone up to 6%. Officially it's 6%. Some people say it's up to 7 or 8%. But that's mainly because of their breeding. And guess what? It's exactly the same in Australia. Look at this. It's exactly identical. Every ebb and flow is the same. Look at this, 2010, 2020. So Christianity and no religion, they're meeting up here. They're not becoming Muslims. People who are leaving Christianity, they're becoming atheists. And which is why I say most of these people who become irreligious, they actually tend to become very woke. That's why I am actually in favor of preserving Christianity, because I have seen the direct negative impact of people leaving Christianity and becoming atheists and then consequently turning into wokes. They're not becoming Muslims. Yes, we do have a few white people converting to Islam. I guess the number is in thousands, maybe 10,000 max. That's not that worrisome, okay? And a lot of those white converts actually leave Islam too. So he's lying.
They, in America, they still believe in Christianity. And in Christianity, in the Bible explicitly, it says that God promised the land of Canaan to Abraham and his descendants. Jewish people and Christian people believe that God inspired these words. So as long as they believe it, they can never truly be on the side of the Palestinians, right? So our means of helping the Palestinian is doubt. So we can cure the ills of the Jewish people who have a superiority complex. We can cure their ills and then tell them the actual truth. The ultimate truth is Al-Islam.
So basically he's saying that we need to turn the Jews and Christians of America into Muslims. Because once they become Muslims, once we have cured their superiority complex, by the way, I've showed you many times before, the Quran says that all non-Muslims are like cattle, they are worst of creatures, they are like pigs, they are like goats, they are like sheep, they're worse than pigs in some places, they bray like donkeys. The reason why Muslims are so deluded about their status is because it comes from the Quran. The Quran tells them that they are good and every other non-Muslim is dirty, worst of creatures. So it's pretty rich coming from him, calling the Jewish people suffering from superiority complex. I'm sure they are. I'm sure every culture is, but rich coming from him. One more video. Look at what this guy is saying. This guy is in Michigan. He condemns American non-Muslims and vows to enslave them under Muslim rule. Oh my goodness, this is... Look at this guy.
And they want to show us morality.
This is for all the wokes. Those wokes who say, free Palestine. This is how they see you, idiots. You think they like your LGBTQ ways? Do you think they like your women coloring their hair purple and putting those weird nose rings on? Do you think they like it? You think the Christian right hates it? You don't even know what the word hate means.
They want to show us morality. You want to teach me how to be refined?
Huh?
Excuse me. You are the ignorant and I am the knowledgeable. Please step aside because the last hope for America is in Islam. We are the ones that will remind them of the truth. We are the leaders of the...
Highly deluded people. They can't build a stealth fighter jet. They can't build submarines. They can't build heavy Navy ships. They can't build rockets. And they are the superior ones. Guys, let me tell you something. I have always said that this is the greatest civilization humanity has ever come up with. And the biggest reason for that, I think Obama said it, you might not like it, but Obama said that the strength of America is not through its military, it's through its values. It's through its democracy, which is so true. It really is true. Authoritarian countries can never unpack the true potential of their people. How come the Soviet Union, despite having so many people, such a vast empire, could not compete with the United States or with the free world? Ronald Reagan just crushed them. He just said that our enemy is just a large gas station. That's it. That's their industry. Yeah, they were putting men in space. They had a good rockets program, but they just could not compete. Because innovation and ingenuity just does not flourish under authoritarianism as it does under free societies. America has a lot of flaws, but I reckon America will remain the leader in this century too. A lot of people say China might do something. Because I hold this belief that true ingenuity, true genius cannot flourish under authoritarianism. That's why I think China will fail in the long run. And again, China is now replaced by a dictator. It always ends up happening with authoritarian countries. Even if they're institutionally authoritarian, which they were until the arrival of Xi Jinping, like Putin, like Xi Jinping, these guys are dictators for life. When you have dictators for life, their attitude towards governing also changes as they get older. They become more paranoid. Look at Putin. He just shut down the internet in Moscow. Like suddenly people woke up in Moscow and all of a sudden, oh, I can't use mobile phone. I can't use Snapchat. I can't use Facebook. I can't do internet banking. I can't send a message or WhatsApp message to my friends or my family. All because they're living on the whims of one crazy dictator who got paranoid. That's how they killed Khamenei. Maybe Ukraine is going to kill me too. That's the only reason. And Xi Jinping is also going to get paranoid as he gets older. Some people like Trump, some people don't like Trump. Trump might be crazy, whatever, but he'll be gone after his term. Someone else will come in. A new young blood is going to come in. They're going to replace. There's going to be an evolution in America's direction. That's why I believe the free world is here for a long time. That's why I believe that the West is the greatest civilization and America is the pinnacle of it. But look at this clown. We are the masters, the teachers. No, you're not. These guys are goat herders. They shouldn't even be in the free world.
We are the leaders of the... We are the teachers. Don't worry about the filet mignon and the unseasoned chicken of the white man that colonized our lands. We will bring Sharia to your chicken. We will bring spices into your kitchens, mashallah, for you to be welcomed into the wonderful world of the non-colonized cuisine.
Non-colonized. Islam has colonized every single continent it could. Only Indonesia and Malaysia were converted through deception, but every other country was colonized by Muslim armies. Again, these guys are so hypocrite. They say these things, and the worst part is our lefty, stupid wokes, they fall for it. The woman that I showed you earlier wearing a kafaya next to that hostile man. Stupid. This is absolute stupidity.
اللهم أنجي المستضعفين في
Oh, Allah save the oppressed people all over the world. Yeah, meaning free them from Islam.
يا رب العالمين. اللهم لعن الصهاينة.
See how he didn't call the people of Afghanistan oppressed? Why? They're living under Sharia. Would our left agree that people in Afghanistan are some beacon of prosperity? No, they won't. Look who these people aspire to be. They aspire to turn the entire world into Afghanistan.
المعتدين اللهم عليك بهم.
Shut up. Oh, Allah, annihilate them, for they are no match for you. Yeah, Allah has been sleeping for the last at least 300 years. Muslims haven't been winning for the last 300 years. Oh, Allah, we make you and our shield against them and take refuge in you from the... bugger off. Deluded people. They're not going to win, guys. Let me say that again. I'm not spreading despair. I'm only alerting you. In my heart, with 100% conviction, I believe they wouldn't even be able to take the United Kingdom, let alone the United States. And this is why I'm happy to report that people like Marco Rubio, they recognize this, okay? There are people out there. They're much smarter than you and I, okay? They've got a lot of resources at their disposal. They know what's going on. Trump has been sounding this alarm for nearly 10 years. 10 years ago, in his interview to CNN, he said, I don't know, we have a Muslim problem. He said that. So they know what's happening. Yes, there is political correctness. We have these wokes who make excuses for them, and they're not willing to face the music yet. But I have also been saying that Muslims have played their hand way too soon, okay? Look at this. They've been putting out these statements for so long, and there's a massive backlash in the UK. The UK is erupting, guys. And I reckon all Western countries are going to look at the UK, how they manage this problem, because they've recognized it. Okay, look at this. This is what they've been saying. If we increase our birth rates, Muslims can be assured to be 10% of Britain and 20% of France by 2050, despite any policy changes in immigration. Meaning, if these countries don't even bring any more Muslims, just through pure birth rates, we can be 10 and 20% by 2050. We are not the Zionist lobby. Our strength is not in our ability to influence politicians. Our strength is in our numbers. So they've been putting it out openly. And look at this. It did well, this tweet. So they're saying, they've been saying these things, and now the locals are rising up, and they're saying, no, you know what? Fine. We don't want you. You're clearly telling us that you're going to turn the United Kingdom into an Islamic kingdom. We don't want that. So they're not going to succeed, okay? But they are going to be a nuisance along the way. Some of us will die. I also believe in that. Individually, some of us will die. But overall, they're not going to succeed. I know people say that in history it has happened. For example, the Roman Empire, it did fall to barbarians, at least the Western Roman Empire. Then you could argue the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire fell to Muslims. Muslims were a civilization at that point. At least they were not barbarians in the classical sense. But I don't think America will be the Roman Empire of the 21st century, at least in this century. I don't think barbarians will be able to take, and by barbarians, I mean people who are less civilized, people who are probably about, I don't know, people who are about 14 centuries behind. Because these people, they don't want to emulate even the Ottoman Empire. They want to emulate the 7th century caliphate. That's why they can't destroy the West. It doesn't make any sense. But they're going to be a nuisance. Don't worry about that.